Niaje sana kwa sana Sunday sessions. Tuko hapa for another Sunday session. Natumai unaendelea vyema upande wako. Shukran sana kwa kuwa hapa. Shukran sana for checking this out. Asante for your time kama kawa na appreciate. Hizi Sunday sessions zinakuanga some of the best times that exist kwa hizi online spaces. I would want to believe. I would love to convince myself. So asante sana kwa wakati wako. Feel free kuchangia kwa comments. Kama kuna swali, kama uko na sentiment ya kushare, nimekukaribisha. Feel free. Nimetitle hii video Weekend Recap and MWE Week 1 with the idea ya kurecap activities tumefanya over the weekend, basically just today, Sunday, as well as kuongelea MWE wiki ya kwanza vile the progress has been. Tuliongelea as usual tukifanyanga hizi lives MWE last week. Tunafanya a recap kwanza ya wiki iliyopita since tukue hapa last week up until leo. Imekuwa rather simple and not as eventful ikija kuwa vitu vya kupost. Usidanganyike that wiki yangu imekuwa bila events. Imekuwa hectic sana. A lot of sleep deprived days. So quite eventful. Imekuwa na shughuli back to back. Majukumu ya kazi kama kawaida, shughuli za kutafuta hela, shughuli za kuishi ama kusurvive. Which is which? Which do we do? Which do you do? Niambie kwa comment section. Hizi ndio the kind of comments I want to hear and read. So that has been my week in terms of the events. Zile zimekuwa zikifanyika, kazi kwa sana, kisha kazi za sanaa. Juu tulianza music writer exercise yenye nitaongelea. Kando na hayo, last week tulizungumzia Spotify na the controversy surrounding Joe Rogan, yeye kupass misinformation kwa podcast yake. As Neil Young alikuwa ana state, then Neil Young kupea Spotify an ultimatum watoe music yake from the platform. Then tukaongelea msanii kama Joy Mitchell kumjoin in the move and doing the same, na responses from other artists, as well as media publications ku report the entire scenario na kupeana their views and perspectives. Then tukaongelea Gary Suarez, a music journalist, an American music journalist, akishare sentiments zake regarding the same. Tukaitumia kusegue into discussing MWE yenye ni yeye alianzisha back in 2015. While I was transitioning to that, kwanza the live ilihang, tukahave kuwa na a dual live. Alafu Orato akatujoin, akaanza kuongelea storytelling. Ni mimi nilimset up, so if you blame anyone for that one, unilaumu. But why would you? Ilikuwa an amazing session, as always. So ilikuwa event alikuwa ameattend. Nilikuwa nimecheki post yake mtandaoni, nikaamua kumpoke. Ikaturn hiyo session into a storytelling rant. a rant about storytelling na how that art form is existing as of now, the current state ya storytelling kwa the Kenyan art scene. Tukasema we shall plan that, tukasema we shall schedule that, we shall schedule that. Kama uliwatch una get, mbona nimeisema hivyo, for a date and to have your conversation na Babo, Hazel, Orato. Then as we were speaking, Romy akatujoin, tukasema we pia tutakuhanda kuje kwa haya mazungumzo ya storytelling. Iwapo uko na anything kuhusu storytelling from whichever discipline ya the arts, unaweza suggest, unaweza uliza swali. Iwapo una suggestions na vitu ungetaka zizungumziwe, unaweza reach out uniambie na tutazishughulikia. After kuongelea storytelling na its current state, tukaongelea MWE. Nimeisema so much nilisema kwa hiyo live mara kadhaa, nimeisema hii wiki because of the reviews nimekuwa nikirecord, and nitaisema tena but tuliongelea MWE. Tukimaliza the music writer exercise, tukapata watu on board for the same. We are getting to that. Nikisema recap ya weekend vile imekuwa, nilikuwa nasema ni Sunday peke yake basically, tukiongelea vitu zenye tumereview for today earlier in the day. Na nikisemanga earlier ni literally 4am 5am. Ilikuwa the latest tushaianza kufanya reviews because our dear chef alikuwa busy akituandalia mlo. Tukifikanga tamati ya yeye kuandaa mlo nasi kuindulge, inakuanga worthwhile juu anakuanga amedeliver vifiti sana, inakuanga worth the while, worth the wait. Abe alikuwa kwanza ku review the product that tulikuwa tuna experience eventually, na after one bite akasema A1, akasema kazi imekubali. Najua nashanga Abe ametokea wapi nafikia hiyo point. Tulianza reviews, was it 5am? This is so interesting. Nimetaja Abe alafu Abe akashow up. Nimetaja Abe alafu Abe akashow up. Teke nikaa nimemcall into this Sunday session. So hili kwa the latest that tumeanza reviews. Abe, sijui kama umesurvive the day. Sijui kama umesurvive the day and how you did. We are still surviving the day. So tulifanya reviews kadhaa early today asubuhi. Na nimeamka manze. Ulala saa ngapi? Ulijekelea saa ngapi? Hebu tafuta troops ulete watu hapa kwa hii live. Angalau umepumzika. So hiyo ni fiti sana. Oh, alikusikiza MWE ya leo. Wewe sijaona tweet yako. Nimeona mbunge, chronology, Roger, project ya Kamaru, Babo, project ya Jacob Banks, sijaona ya Nairobi. Nairobi time yake ni 11:59. So bado wewe Nairobi. Toka hapa, ishia usikize kazi. Toka, ishia. Unaweza kuja baadaye uambie watu experience yako ya week 1, which is what we shall speak about, but toka ende usikize kazi sasa. Hebu nasema lala 5pm. Sisi tuko na some 6 or so hours. Toka uende usikize MWE, najua ni pia tracks 3 unaenda kusikiza. Thank you Babo, nakupenda sana. Umekuja hivi nikafurahi. Nimeona count imeenda tu watu wawili, iko na jina la Babo. Moyo wangu ukamelt. So Ebu unaweza ishia nibaki na Babo. Na Ebu ametake his leave, rightfully so. Juu nimemfukuza, najua Babo anashanga mbona tu ameka on the spot. Nimefukuza Ebu juu, as you can read his comment above, amesema nadai kusikiza MWE ya leo. So nimemwambia Ebu ende ufanye kazi, alafu tuonane baadaye. Let's see each other later. So and I've just if you follow Sana kwa Sana, na if you follow my other account ya African, na umeona number of lives, kuna very many moments za serendipity. Previously mention Abe, immediately aka show up. I'm just from mentioning MWE na the projects that watu wamereview leo, nika mention Roger na kile amesikiza mbunge, alafu nika mention Jacob Banks ya Babo, which I've just seen some moments ago. Babo akatokea. You can't make this stuff up. So early this morning tulikuwa na guest on set, na nimemention nikisema alireview chakula yenye mpishi wetu alituandalia, na chakula ambacho ye huwa anaandaa kila muda. Nimesema jina langu aje? Bandit, karibu sana mpotevu, mwana mpotevu, karibu sana. Babo, nimesema jina langu kama it's someone else, third person. Nimesema ka someone mwenye ana exist outside of this person. Asante sana Bandit. Thank you so much. Huyu ni a supporter on the side. Juu niliongea na Viva a few days ago. Hey. Ni vita tu. Babo anasema Viva text me. Viva aliniambia how ameona the work that we are doing here MWE, and I watch from the sides, from the sidelines, from the side. Amesema you go you. That is for you people. Mimi hiyo kazi siwezi fanya. So yeye ni supporter from the sidelines. Yeye ni supporter from the margins. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me assume the video that follows this, see how you can tell, you can check the history uploads. The video after this will tell you how that reference makes sense. So uko on the side Viva, sijadanganya, nimedanganya. Wewe umesema ulikuwa na my excuse. I decided to breathe in the middle of saying your name. African. We African. We African. Dancehall and reggae connotations. Patois connotations. So leo asubuhi kama kawaida tukafanya kazi, tukareview projects kadhaa. If you are smart enough, ama if you know the projects that zimetolewa by Kenyan artists, the reference yenye nilimention a few moments ago, yenye nimemention, then utaipata, you'll get the reference. So Babo, to respond to your question, tumereview leo asubuhi. Najua iko kwa list yako ya MWE. So please save yourself. Once that video is out, don't watch it. Ndio tusi cloud your judgment before usikize. So lenga hiyo review. Alafu Babo pia wewe si fan wa reviews zetu sana. So uko tu sawa. Hadi time utaisikiza na ushare sentiments zako on an MWE. Afterwards unaweza ishare one what we stated kuhusu the album. So Babo ame get the reference obviously. If you're on YouTube unaweza ona the review that follows this ama the video that follows this kwa the order, utapata the reference. I am waiting so much. I can always change my mind. I know you can. That's the thing about MWE. Ni flexible sana. Unaweza change depending on various factors. Don't change, Babu. Wachana na hiyo idea ya kuchange. Maintain na uisikize time utaisikiza. Alafu uende I think unasema ama unasema kuchange your mind on watching our reviews. Which is which? Watching us or doing the review of that project. So hiyo project ilikuwa one of the albums that tuli review leo asubuhi. Tulianza 5. The latest nimesema that tumeanza kufanya reviews all the way up until 10 a.m. So tulifanya 5 reviews. Kukuwa na watu kama sisi kwa set, ni reviews can never be at 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 or 30. Watu huongea. So hiyo review kwanza, the one that you started with, ilikuwa 45 minutes long. Yo, who will watch these reviews? Who are we doing these things for? Unajua unasemangaza content creator. Na hapa niko na content creators. Babo na Viva. So ali unafaa kujulizanga za content creator ni whom are you creating your content for? Alafu look at your analytics. Are your audience members consuming your content as you would love them to? Who is your target audience? Who is your TA? How effective is your content? Babo anasema doing the review. So nilikuwa right. Ifanye bado Babo. If you follow my other account, I am getting in my freestyle bag. Who are you really doing it for? That's the question. Are we doing it for ourselves? For the sake of hearing our sentiments and hearing ourselves speak? It could be the underlying drive hizi reviews zile si ufanya. So hiyo ndo tulianza nayo, ilikuwa 45 minutes long. Tukafanya 4 more projects. So kuna 2 hip hop albums that tulifanya, 1 more spoken word album, and a singer songwriter EP. So sitazimention hapa. Sasa tuache suspense. But so hizi IGTVs na IG lives, only few people watch them. Watu wachache sana. So mtuka Babu, watu wachache kidogo. So people who care about these things after they happen, that is, unless kuna mse I watch on YouTube na aki watch ni watu wachache anyway. So ita work bado for them. Juni kama na promote our content na tumongelea target audience and marketing. So let's see. Tumefanya reviews 5. Nilimention Robbie nikiwa na Baba. Robbie amecome through. Serendipitous moments happen kwa hizi lives. And Robbie ametujoin consistently. That's a double. Consistently for MWE. Consistently for the past 3 weeks. A 3rd week now. So get it? That's a double. Watu wa content. Robbie pia ni mtu wa content. So Robi, nimeuliza swali hapa. Nimesema tulikuwa na reviews leo asubuhi, alafu kukuwa na watu sisi kwa set si uongea sana. So reviews zinaenda up zimekuwa more than 30 minutes long. But tunauliza swali muhimu for content creators. Whom are we creating this content for? Review ya 30 minutes, review ya 45 minutes. Tuna createa nani? Babu anasema we don't care. We do this for ourselves. Expect such a response kutoka Babu. Viva anasema hata huwa sina target audience mimi. Shida yao wakiona, shida yao pia wasipo. Wow. Aya, Robi tuambie, are you any different? Watu niko nao hapa nakuambia. Watu wajali, uone content usione, hawajali. Lakini viva unajua wewe clients wako your clients and your prospective clients aona content yako, ndio huwa wanakupata, alafu wanakupatia kazi, alafu unapata ganji. Nimeongelea kufanya kazi earlier nikiwa peke yangu kwa hii live, na how hii wiki imekuwa hectic juu ya kufanya kazi, alafu kutafuta pesa, alafu on top of that unaongeza MWE. So hectic vibaya sana, but tuko hapa, si ndio? Tuko hapa. Robi, sija explain vizuri. Robi's New Year resolution, March. It seems it is, na tunashukuru sana. So swali lilikuwa sisi create. Na nilikuwa nasema how leo tumekuwa na reviews. Na hizo reviews, the first one we did ilikuwa 45 minutes long. Then tukaanza kuuliza whom are we creating this for? Sisi kama content creators, na how hilo kwa swali muhimu sana for content creators. Inakuanga foundation ya creating content, idea ya kufikiria target audience and whom you're creating your content for. So ndio tukauliza, if our reviews are 45 minutes long, whom are we creating these reviews for? Then sasa nimekuuliza wewe as someone who ako hii field ya content creation, whom are you creating your content for? Ndio, that's why umesikia the responses from Babu amesema we don't care. Viva pia hajali. Are you different? Are you the different one here? We create because we want, can and love to, Babu anasema. So the 5 projects that tumefanya, nishajipatia explanations kwa akili yangu, alafu nikaona why not mention them. Aya, now sasa Robi, usiongee kama msanii, ongea as a content creator outside of creating art, creating social media content and other forms of content that si art yako. But Robi anasema as an artist, I create for myself. If it's not authentic to me, I'm not doing it for anyone. So Robi, nilikuwa nasema nimekumention earlier, juu nilisema tulikuwa naongelea MWE. Hazel is here. The family is here. The family is here. Asante sana. Nikianotize majina, I'm just getting excited. So nilimention how for today's MWE, nimeona before nianze live a few moments ago, Babo's review, nimeona Mbunge's review, nimeona Roger's review. So nilikuwa hapa na Abe. Alafu Abe ndio tukakuamka, juu tulikuwa na yeye tukireview. Ako hapa, alafu ako amesikia kazi. Nikamwambia bu, toka uende, fanya kazi yako kwanza. So nilikuwa nasema nangoja review yake, na nangoja ya Robi, juu najua time ya Robi. We know 23:59 hiyo time ya Robi post reviews zake. So that's a staple up until this point. So yeye najua yake itakuja baadaye. So yeye bakimaliza kusikia EP yake ya wimbo 3 the day has been hectic, na so you have to find shorter projects to listen to. Atakuja hapa, if we'll still be here. Viva anasema I really just create because it makes me happy. It warms my heart much. Mtu akibahatika kubambika then katambe. Vile baba wamesema, but also what you're saying is true. Yes. So the 5 projects that tumereview leo asubuhi, nilikuwa nasema tulikuwa na guest Abe, alikuwa our guest, our beloved guest. Nimemtaja previously, nikasema alianza na kureview chakula cha chef Irauka. Then tuka get into reviews. The reviews that we've done that preoccupied our morning from 5 a.m. up until 10 a.m. were as follows. Before that, let's go in suspense. If you're here on IG and if you're watching this on YouTube, Robbie, I'm a bit. Did you also have a hectic day, as some of us did? You siku zimekuwa crazy, for us, so it seems imekuwa pia siku crazy. But Robbie anasema professionally, I have to know who my TA is. Yes, ndo kenye nilikuwa nasema, and what works for them, but I won't be enough for everyone. So let those who need me, who need to find me. He also in a touch on sentiment yenye Viva amesema, and also part of it going back to kile Babo amesema kuhusu create, for the fact that unaipenda na you want to create. So kuna hiyo strand recurring. You've made sense. Hata kama umebit, umemake sense. Robbie, asante sana for sharing. Tunaweza uliza pia Hazel the same question, yeka content creator. Last week, storytellers. This week, content creators. Ivia, content creator. Wanasayansi wanasemanga human beings who struggle sana kudeal na coincidences. Alafu we have to find reasons to explain the coincidences and random events as they occur in life. Nimeongelea stories za serendipity, kutaja Babo akatokea, kutaja Abe akatokea. I had mentioned Robbie ame come through. Nimeongelea content creators, Ivia ametokea, and how live ya last week ilikuwa na storytellers at a point in time. Then how this one iko na content creators from Babo to Viva to Hazel and Robbie. Ivia akatokea. So interesting. Nilikuwa nasema tunaweza uliza Hazel and acha pia to rope in Ivia to the discussion, tuneka tutapata sentiments. So basically ni kufikiria story ya target audience as content creators, na if you care kuhusu the same. So for Ivia na Hazel, if you in your fields za content creation, whether you are preoccupied, and if so, unaweza tuambia to what extent, about your target audience, knowing your target audience na catering your content for your target audience. Inaweza kuwa kama ni in terms of length, kama vile unaongea, the themes you cover, whatever, how you package the content generally, na whether unajali kuhusu hizi vitu, na whether your TA matters to you, na TA wako na preoccupy what percentage of your content creation, or to what extent. So ndo nilikuwa nasoma responses za watu. Sijui if you've scrolled na umeona kadhaa, but you are trying to identify that. The 5 projects that tume review, as I was mentioning, na tuko watu watano hapa. Another moment ya coincidence, another random occurrence. It's crazy. tukiwa na Abe as a guest. The projects were that we mentioned earlier. If you caught that Babu did, then uko tu sawa. If you didn't, this is the time ya kufigure out the project. Ni From the Margins. I mentioned it's a spoken word album, so that is the one that we'll review. Hiyo ndo review ilikuwa 45 minutes long that steered this entire conversation kuhusu content creation. After that, the hip hop albums that nimetaja, tulireview album ya Suicida, Mkardinali, Wada. After that tukareview album ya Ska, Mkardinali, debut yake #easy. Sijui if Robi uko na any of hizi albums kwa your MWE. Sijui mbona for some reason na feel you would have either, I feel you'd have Ska's album kwa your MWE. Sijui mbona. Alafu tukareview album ya Lexus Mshairi, spoken word album ya pili that tumefanya. Sijui kama Babu you have it on your list. And then tukareview EP ya Wamugunda. Tumeongelea content creation kwa hizi lives mara kadhaa. Hazel umebea witness whenever nimesema kuna some projects that najua hamjasikiza. Kama time nilikuwa nasema najua hamjasikiza in Kenyan electronic artists. Leo nimefanya an electronic music review, serendipity more and more. Time nilikuwa nasema najua amkuwa mmesikia, ilikuwa wanavokali at the time the album, kusikia Tetushani as well. I thought Abe did to some extent, hakuwa amesikiza, but hizo moments zilikuwa zinatie into the idea ya kusema I know my audience. Alafu tumeongelea content creation na knowing your audience na TA. Mimi, this is crazy. Mimi nimesema, so I expected comment, so whatever Babu is saying, nilikuwa na expect Robi ndo akue na au Mgunda, and then to some extent Babu. Then nimeongelea story ya Ska, nikisema I have a feeling Robi might have Ska's debut kwa list yake, and true to it amesema iko kwa list yake. I know my audience. To some extent, I know my audience. Going back to story ya TA. Am just knowing your audience generally? I know my audience. I take pride in that. Anasema, but for week 2, this week imekuwa nikifanya R&B girls. Nime notice that for your projects, Babu aliamua Queen B will be the death of us. As well as R&B pop projects. So I noted that. So hizo ndo albums na projects tume review leo asubuhi from 5 am up until 10 am. So Robi, kile nimambia Babu tukidiscuss From the Margins, alikuwa anasema anaweza change akose kuifanya, but nilikuwa namwambia asiwatch your review kitoka hadi time atasikiza the project. Then after that, akipata time ya kusikiza our reviews, anaweza share aione ndio tusi cloud judgment yake. So similarly for you too. But I think by the time, if you have it for week 2, which is this coming week, by the time I'm releasing that video, I think depending on when I release it and when utasikiza, inaweza kuwa imetoka. I want to release them this week. If I manage to. But pia wewe usiwatch your review. Achana nayo. If you ever watch our reviews anyway, Robi, nakumulika. anytime utasikiza the album, then wende huko usikie what you had to say about the album. I'm looking forward to your views about it sasa, kuona what utafeel. So hizo tulisikiza, and then Babu anasema yes I have it, akirespond to Alexa's, which I had a feeling, alafu akasema Wamugunda pia. So interesting coincidences happening kwa hii live ya leo, one after another, back to back. So hizo pia Babu, usiguse hizo reviews tafadhali, achana nazo vile tu ziko zikitoka, those lengthy ass reviews, because who are we? Atujui target audience yetu upande wa reviews. Si uongea na si uongea some more. So look forward to those times zitatoka. If you're watching this on YouTube pia, look forward to them. Na kama una watch this when zishatoka, when those reviews are out, perhaps nimeongeza the what are they called, the link cards kwa this video. Consider kuzicheki if you are interested in any of those. Spoken word, From the Margins na Alexa's Mshairi, if that's your kind of content. Hip hop, ska na Suicida from Wakadinali, alafu projects za singers and songwriters, acoustic and folk ya Omugunda. Hiyo ndio kwa kile yeye ufanya. So do your thing. Acha ni catch up, take. I am not an ideal creator from Ivia. I don't think I know who my target audience is, or rather I have not taken the time to look at what I do to this extent, mostly because I have ignored to. So Ivia pia ana come from the lineage and the cloth, yet the likes of Viva na Babu, when they don't care about the target audience. For Ivia ni juu ameignore na aja take the time ya kufikiria TA yake. Alafu for Babu na Viva, hao hawajali, they don't care. Robi alituambia yeye professionally atafikiria kuhusu TA, lakini anajua hatakuwa for everyone, so wale watamfind. Alafu for sana yake amesema hiyo hakuna story ya target audience, yeye lazima content kuwe authentic kwake. So at this point, acha kwanza nisome then niseme kile nitaka kusema. Well, on my part, from Hazel, my target audience has an influence on my work to some extent, an asterisk. It's my creativity with their part manipulation. Both parties satisfied, but work is still mine, my own niche. So kuna cause idea ya the role ya an audience who come up sana kwa watu when you create, and discussions ikikuja kwa creativity and audiences na listeners, whether you ni kitu unafaa kuconsider, whether you consider or not, and the like. That comes up a lot kwa such discussions. So amesema hiyo, it is my creativity with their part manipulation. So the audience being part of the creative process, na wewe kuwafikiria, alafu kuna wewe na creativity yako, alafu that being combined. For some reason, I think whether or not utaifanya deliberately, the audience is still part of the creative process. Hata kama ni the final part of the creative process, hata kama ni wewe kurelease the work, that part then the audience ina come in, hata kama ukuwafikiria ukiifanya, but still kuna a way in which the audience itakuwa kwa mind yako, kama ni unconsciously ama kama ni consciously, depending on approach mtu hutumia kwa their creativity and how they choose to express themselves, depending on the art form. Yes, Hazel, umenipata vizuri sana. Babu anasema I am recovering my childhood, kukuwa tu rebellious. Alafu Ivia alikuwa anasema I however make things that I like making, so going back to being authentic and loving kile unafanya, vile Robi alisema, kitu yenye Viva na Babu pia wame reiterate, making stuff that has been centered around me for a long time, and that's been a bit of a struggle. Also Ivia anasema I however make things that I like making, stuff that has been centered around me for a long time, and that's a bit of a struggle. Ningependa ku delve deeper into this, Ivia. I would like to decenter myself from it all. I feel as if tumongelea story ya decentering kwa our previous conversations, kwa context tofauti, especially when it comes to our social, political, sana social na political and cultural spheres of our lives. Ningependa ku understand your perspectives further kwa content creation na we kujidecenter sana. Then Robi amesema amenipata. Hata another moment that is happening here. Babu anauliza Ivia kile nimemuuliza, why decenter yourself? Ivia, tafadhali chapiana na sisi tujue. Then anasema yet to decide where I want to fit in all that. So somehow hiyo anasema story ya kujidecenter na vile ako yet kuamua where I would want to fit in all that. But Babu ameuliza why, mimi nimeuliza how na kile unamaanisha by kujidecenter. Haya, Ivia kuja tuambie. There we go. Najua watu wake watakuja hapa. Ivia. Then to get to MWE. Niko na watu wangu hapa, niko na Babu mwenye anaifanya na mimi, na Seise, na tuko na Robi, tutasikia from them pia and their experience. But kwa sasa, so nimetoa mic, if you notice the change in the audio. Let's do. Tusikie sentiment from.
Hi, niko kwa streets, nimetoka kupanda train. So the reason ni kwa sababu nilikuwa najua sitajibu immediately. So I was like, I better ask you niwajibu sahi kwa sababu sivyo nitatake a lot of time. So decenter myself. Why decenter myself? Kwa sababu so zingine nimesikia ni kama namjiongelelea sana. Unaelewa? Ni kama niko too immersed, and then sometimes we feel ni kama na lose the niitwaje? Na lose focus, or rather ni kama sina focus. Si kama if that's clear, na feel ni kama sidhani nataka kukua najiongelelea, alafu to what extent, sijui kama mnanisikia baby, and then like to what extent, and then to what extent again is me talking about myself with my creation. To what extent am I oversharing? To what extent am I putting myself out there? And also when you put yourself out there, especially with creating stuff, like making videos, talking about your stories, talking about your journey, sometimes feel like if it, kuna maybe hii ni kitu nafaa kutafuta therapist niongee, but kuna hiyo part ya itakuwa received aje, kwa sababu I am giving a part of myself, I am being very vulnerable. I probably shouldn't care about that, but sometimes I find myself caring about it. I'm like, okay, I'm putting myself out there. This is me, first of all, giving people leeway to feel like they know me a lot, or they know about myself, about me, about my life, to feel like they could talk about it. And for me,
umepotea sasa, your audio imepotea. Sijui mnasikia Ivia? Hatukusikii. Mnasikia Ivia? Ama audio yake imeenda pia on your end? Ama ni mimi? Ama this is me? Ivia unanisikia? Hatukusikii. the audio is gone. I don't think anaona. Hatukusikii Ivia. Audio yake imepotea. Sijui kama anasoma comments. Soma comments, hatukusikii.
Hello?
Mbona ni aje? Yes, you're back.
Sijui kama menipata.
Ulipotea a
For-
number of sentences.
Okay, ni wapi amjasikia? I will repeat. Ni nini amjasikia? Take me back.
Ulipotea number of sentences back.
Mhm.
The audience, if you are listening, sijui kama mlikuwa mnasikiza Ivia, but ulikuwa umeget just into hiyo point ya no, amerudi Babo. I think sahi mnampata. Just confirm kama
Oh,
mnamsikia.
hi. 1 mic 1 2 mic testing. 1 2 1 2 mic testing. I hope it's better. Nilikuwa nimefika wapi?
No, I think sahi wanakusikia. Tupe a thumbs up kama mnasikia Ivia quickly, then ndio tuendelee. But ulikuwa umeget into the idea ya therapy na watu kutumia vitu zile una share about yourself.
Hiyo ni mbali. Oh yeah. Nilikuwa nimesema vitu mob. Oh yeah, so yeah, there's that.
You're sharing about yourself and how that impact.
Na pia like the second thing nilisema pia nasikanga ni kama like ukijitumia sana kwa story, it's like you're begging for a certain kind of attention. No, it's like you're drawing, or rather maybe not begging for it, but just like drawing a certain kind of attention to yourself and to your person, and that is quite vulnerable because it puts you under attack. You know, like it's very easy to get to you because like we can reference you. Shikama sasa, that's clear. It's probably circling back to the same thing, but kuna hiyo too, I think pia ni issues of vulnerability na pia how much, just wondering how much access you want to allow the world kwa life yako na kwa your person, and if you're only talking about yourself, if then your art is valid. You know what I mean? It's like, can you create without centering it around yourself? If we were not talking about your life story, what else could you bring to the table? Are you able to tell other stories? Kwa sababu mimi basically idea yangu ni kuwa storyteller na kufanya documentaries na kufanya vitu kama hizo. So like, okay, so yeah, when we're not talking about you, what more can you bring to the table? How are you able to tell other stories? Are you able to sympathize and empathize with other stories and be able to tell them as wholesomely as you would, right? As you would tell us about your day, I don't know, a day in my life or something like that. So I don't know if that's clear enough. I hope it is.
Clear sana.
Yeah.
Clear sana. Sijui uko na time to engage ama
Sawa, yeah. Unaweza jibu, unaweza engage with it. Before nifike.
Sawa. Because vile umesema hiyo idea ya kwa storyteller and getting into documentary, which is something you're passionate about now you want to do, then imeanza to get a sense of maybe perhaps that's why ina come up ya kutaka kutell stories za watu wengine and be centering yourself and telling their other stories zao as well, and coming from kama ni point ya empathy na sympathy, or basically trying to just tell other stories and highlight experiences za different people. So Ivia ametujoin na Ivia center yake kwa Love Girl na Conversations, na kuna a YouTube channel as well as an Instagram account that amekuwa prolific for years now create content regarding the same. So hizo ndizo kwa center za what Ivia hufanya. Kuna lifestyle videos pia, kuna videos za ile nini, hizo travels, hizo ni lifestyle ama sema travel vlog.
Unaona, that's the other thing, that's the other problem pia, like kwa sababu pia nafeel ni kama sidhani nataka kuput brands.
Ilikuwa niseme a lot of the points that you are raising I was so sure that mtuka Babu kuna very many things angewish ku express. I could feel that, but tuambie, najua uko na issue ya kukuwa branded and labeled. I know, tell us.
Which parts? Anyway, story ya kuwa branded na kuwa labeled.
Nimeongelea story ya the content that you do, alafu ukasema hiyo pia utaki kufanya kitu fulani ama kupewa label fulani.
So sidhani mimi ni lifestyle creator.
No, you're not.
Singejiita hivyo. I am too lazy to be a lifestyle creator. Have you seen what those people do? They're the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life. And sidhani I want to take that away from them. But yeah, there's that. And also kwa sababu sitaki kuever kukuwa limited. Unaona, sitaki kuever be limited to only creating that. And that's the thing. Like when people know that you do a particular thing, then they will only expect that of you. Am I clear? Should I tour the headphones?
Uko sawa.
Oh, so like people will always expect one particular thing from you. And so that's where now I think this is what brings us back to, and what about the audience? Do you care about the audience? This is it. This is where my problem is, because I do not want to, like, for people to always expect one particular thing from me, and 1 minute niamke ni decide nataka kufanya anything else, people want to have an opinion about it. Like it was supposed to be about them. Like my creation was supposed to be about them. Unaona kila kama na communicate. Unaona, like this was about you. No, I don't think it was about you. It was about my need to express and my need to live the way that I know that I want to live, and that is through creation, and that is through communicating, and that is through telling stories. And I tell stories. Of course, I would listen to people when they have ideas of, oh yeah, this is a story that could be told. Yeah, let's discuss. Let's talk about that, and maybe we can work together even. But I do not want for anyone to ever expect one particular type of story from me. I want to be free enough to create and tell the stories that resonate with me in that moment, and that could change every other day. I want to be allowed that. So for me to want to be allowed that, ideally, this is me saying that I do not want to ask for permission. That is why I probably do not want to care about the audience. I could care about the audience a lot. I could do that. And I probably will along the line, like all people. Sell out. Ha 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 ha. When the cash is thrown in my face, I'll probably be like, okay, what do you want me to say? Right? But like ideally me nataka kuwa na freedom enough ya ku explore, especially sasa kwa sababu nafikiri kama naanza, so like nataka kuwa nimetafuta voice yangu na nimetafuta avenue yangu ya communicate the best way bila anyone kuniambia, na ndio maana kwa sasa niko like siski, you know. But mimi ni kichwa ngumu pia, so maybe that could be the problem. So I don't know.
Imefanya nikafikiria if you're, especially vitu zina concern stories za watu wengine, ni hard kukosa kusikia. Una get if especially in your format ya documentary, it's a hard thing kufanya kutosikiza maybe comments or kutosikiza what the audience will say, because if you're documenting stories your format, then you kuna very critical things that you have to look at and consider as you're getting into the story that it's about to tell. The documentaries are critical. Now to get into various situations because of maybe kuignore vitu fulani ama not ticking all the boxes as you should, lakini na get kile unasema when it comes to
but
wewe
what the problem moment kwa sababu ni sawa, people can have like feedback, hiyo ni guaranteed for any creation, but people can have feedback on the technique, people can have feedback on, you know, the deliverance of the story, you know, like vitu technical tunaweza debate about, yes, but like hatuwezi have so then unaweza have a very strong opinion of the story that I choose to tell, unaona,
yes,
or like
unasema najua
which I need to go,
we can talk about the technique. You can be like, oh no, that video was not well done. There was that, the lighting, blah, blah, blah. For example, that's the easiest thing. When your video, ilikuwa ina lack a bit of this and that and that. And that's okay. We can debate about that. We can talk about that. But wezi niambia leo ati unasemaje stories done na tulikuwa tunataka kuongea kuhusu na wewe ni Mkenya unafaa kuongea stories za Wakamba or something, you know, some weird shit like that. Like kunako tunaona tu opinion twa ni kama for example like natengeza videos za vile watu wanafaa kujipenda, alafu watu na siku ubaya unataka niongelee nywele peke yake, like no, sijui ati hair tutorials, what, you know, like I could, but like that is like just and do it like to do it, but like be able to do it a bit differently, unaelewa. But there's just that ni sawa, probably need to make video ya nywele, and I have an idea, but like sitakuwa tutorial nikikufunza twist out, what, like there's 1,000,001 videos teaching you how to twist out. Why would I do that anyway?
They want one from Ivia.
And you see, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with making such videos. If you feel that's the story that you want to tell, please, let's listen to you. But personally, I do not want to tell that story. Unaelewa?
Unaelewa kile unasema juu kuna hiyo basic idea ya content creation and giving feedback and getting responses from a technical standpoint, right? And then kuna ideas maybe kama ni themes na the material that you're talking about, and then kuna the other idea which watu wamecapture kwa hii live from kina Robi, and then kumekuwa na idea ya Hazel akisema the audience being part of the creativity, waki manipulate content yake to that extent. Ama uko na Aviva and Bagbo wenye wamesema hawajali kuhusu the audience, na pia umeallude to the same ya mtu haizi kuambia kile ya kufanya and the direction that you're supposed to take your art, which is something mukwa pia strong about, that wewe as a content creator una determine what you want to create. Then now if you have audience members, fans, supporters, depending on what they'll become, that wanapenda kile unafanya, bado wewe ndiye una decide whatever it is you want to do. Though najua kuna an approach ya content creators when they get into it, ama kwa certain disciplines and certain content creation ideas, juu hiyo ndio kile watu wanafanya, and therefore they want to get an audience based on doing the same thing. Na so au ni ile approach ya what do people want to see, then they start from that and then move forward, and not how to create alafu people gravitating to whatever it is that they want to do. Ningependa kuuliza regarding your umongelea story ya kuambiwa tell stories kuhusu Africa, jueni Mwafrika, tell stories za nywele and the like. Mwangu tulisema story za Africa na kwa Mkamba, nilikuwa about kuuliza if that's something that mtu alikuambia, and then we can bring in the example ya nywele. Now, the kind of videos that you've been doing recently zimekuwa kuhusu voting, right? And kushare information kuhusu voter registration. Why did that become something that uli care about at this point kwa life yako? Now what has the feedback been?
All right, so feedback sija care kufollow through, like I told you, like in terms of like sija follow kuangalia kama hizo videos zimekuwa zikido any better than what I have been doing before. That's what I mean, not at yet. I've engaged with people on what I was doing, and just like
kwa DMs and stories and whatnot.
And the reason why I got into that is because it was happening at around the same time nilikuwa involved again. Literally at the center of it all. Nilikuwa involved about the story, and I was like, oh yeah, I could inform more people. Why not? I think it would be important to let people know about this. So that's where it came from. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do these videos, and why not? And for me, because I feel like it's going to be important for the rest of my trajectory. Like I care about like the diaspora experience by virtue of being in the diaspora at the moment. And yeah, so there was not too much thought into that. It was something important. It was something that I could do, so I did it. That's the basic. So no, like there's not actually zero calculation, bro. Zero calculation with me. I think something is important to do, and I feel capable of doing it. Najituma. That's it. And probably that suffer from.
So utaki kuwa boxed na what it is you want to do. Oh, which ilikuwa nikuulize pia as part of the discussion, because now that brings in something about now the target audience. So if you do video kuhusu nywele leo and whatever concept you want to share, ukifanya video on voting, ukispend a day with your family and you share that with us as you did some time back, ukitake a trip to a particular ukitake a trip to a particular place, ukikuwa na Betsy and you are chilling over Christmas and you're sharing those kinds of videos now, and then getting into documentaries later. So still you won't now be concerned about whom you want this content to be for and how the audience, now if someone comes kwa channel ya Ivia, let's say, that won't be a concern ya the way they will view you in terms of kuweka kwa njia moja ya what is Ivia about if someone comes then and apata this different. Is that something that
funny because I've had a conversation with them and they were like, oh yeah, like, but I haven't like really figured out like what exactly you do.
Uh-huh.
I'm not there to be figured out. I am there to be experienced. Experience me, No, but I think it's something that's going to be very, very important for me in the near future to jipanga around, like to really, and I think maybe ni juu pia mimi mwenyewe sijajibox bado, but ile siku nitajibox mtapata alert na mtaelewa ni box gani nimechagua and we are going to move forward with that box. Good. Na sound kama mtu difficult. I hope that regret. Yeah. Na sound kama we huyu zizi okay, honestly, with all honesty, let me put it out there. Maybe niko sababu pia mimi I'm a struggling creative and maybe other creatives not tumebaki tu si watatu hapa, imebaki monologue.
Babu na Hazel wako hapa. Ni watu. Ni watu.
Sentiment mmekuwa nayo pia, but maybe pia as a struggling creative ukijaribu kutafuta voice yako kunako ka pressure pia. Alafu pia like una respond by being like msini show story ni joto ya ujui. Hata shida si watu wengine, shida ni wewe, ni ati haujui na unadhani watu wanakuwa watu wako tu wanatafuta content, watu wanataka kujibu. So maybe there's that, maybe there's this, probably because pia mimi na struggle kutafuta niche. Na pia kuna swali kama nataka kutafuta niche, but kitu niko sure nataka kuwa able to tell stories zenye hazini sen, or rather nataka kuelewa value ya kujicenter in the stories. Nikishaelewa value ya kujicenter kwa hizo stories, why not, we'll see.
I have a feeling that ndaita Babu hapa join live, kama if anaweza pia to join on these stories as a centering especially.
Yes.
And the importance ama significance ya doing the same depending on the stories that you're telling. One thing that nime realize over time, being a creative myself and listening to creatives and critiquing their works, you get to realize that our own worlds, na our own viewpoints and how to experience life from our eyes really impact the kind of stories we tell na what we are concerned about. So unaweza amua kupick different spheres za life yako, alafu utaona how zime impact vitu umeget kufanya. Kitu ka basic as you being in the diaspora, as you've stated, and how that may impact even the videos that you shared na the ideas that umecenter kwa videos zako and vitu umechoose kuhighlight. So kitu ka hiyo, amongst other things that umepitia kwa life and reality yenye una exist in, you being the center ina shape sana the kind of stories you tell, and the experiences that you've had up until this point zina determine pia whatever it is you're releasing and sharing. To go back to the self and attention, giving yourself attention, kujiweka katikati kwa stories you're sharing. Do you have a moment where you felt kwa videos ulifanya this was too much, ama ilikuwa something I don't want to share this part yet, acha ni edit nitoe one, and was there such a moment will you feel that's maybe vulnerable na acha iende lakini those two?
So ideally,
Don't have to talk about them necessarily and say this one is the exact moment, but generally
sidhani ninge word my sentiments hivyo, but nimekuwa tu, kuna vitu tu nimeput out, niko like you know, lakini maisha yangu man, na sijui how comfortable na feel na maisha yangu kukua on this. So there's that. So I don't know if that answers you.
It somewhat does. Yeah, it somewhat does.
Yeah.
Juni kitu pia ulisema earlier ya watu kutumia maybe the information
Ni
or
access.
watu kujua certain things.
Ni question na access. Like how much access are you giving the world to your person? In yeah.
And
That's basically.
and what that means. Yeah. So to get into lastly on the self, na since videos zile ulikuwa unafanya ama a lot of the videos that you've done zimekuwa on self love, a majority of them. So to conclude and then to share any final sentiments that you have, at what point hizo videos did it now become this is too much about me, na ukaanza feel ambivalent about it?
Mostly when time yenye make content yenye naka lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, like I've said before, I have nothing against lifestyle. It's just like my life is like sijaribu make it a style. Like I'd never want anyone to use my life as a reference for anything. Auntie?
My life?
I will live it through a love gaze. No. And yeah, like literally, and like where no
a light moment.
No, yeah, on a light moment. But it's true. It's it's really yeah. I think ningependa kusikia what other people have to say about it with regards to like your sentiments. Yeah. Kusabu maybe na you overthink for no good reason, and sometimes you may feel ni kama na you overthink for no good reason, because some of those moments are like innocent, beautiful moments that I would like to share. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. They're just moments that I'm comfortable sharing, and I think they're cute, and I think they're sweet, and I'm like, oh, this is a nice story. Let me share that. It's nothing more than that. But I think Niju, I would like moving forward to put in more thought, to put in more thought into what I put out there. Kwa sababu sitaki kidogo watu waniambie si kama vile nilikuwa naomba nitengeze video za nywele. Sitaki watu waanze kuniambia nitengeze video za watoto wangu, you know, like sitaki tuwaifika hapo, kwa sababu that's not the intention. Unaelewa, like that's not the intention.
Interesting sentiments coming from Ivia. Kuna a lot of aspects that zime come up kwa our conversation, as well as something critical, or one of the most critical things uliongelea ni idea the creative journey, ama the journey of the creator, na kujaribu kufind a niche na a path ya kufollow. A lot of talking points from our convo na Ivia, which Niko grateful for. Akishare sentiments that it's not being the ideal creator,
I'm not. I'm too lazy. Yangu ni uvivu, but then I'm hardworking. Bruh. Bruh.
So if you have any final thoughts that you have, feel free to share. Alafu if you want to plug anything, unaweza ambia watu. So, kama ni handles IG or YouTube or whatever.
Final thoughts being maybe maybe watu wafai ku overthink creation as much as I do. Mimi ingekuwa naweza advice mtu ningesema you go for it, fanya kile unafanya. Kama kuna lessons za kulaniwa, kama kuna uko mbele, utasort hiyo mambo uko mbele. That is what I would advise people to do, and that is the advice that I would probably should use myself.
Give yourself.
Yeah, like just like freestyle tu kidogo, jela ku freestyle na creation. There's nothing so bad about having looking back. Ni kama like there's someone that I really, maybe this is the plug that I will give you guys. There's a lady that I really like called Yagazi Emezi. She's a photojournalist. She's a self-taught photojournalist. And I make documentary, nini, that sort of thing. I really like her. The first time that I met her virtually, really meet on social media. On YouTube, she was making YouTube videos about her life, literally just like chatting and talking about her Tinder experiences, like stuff, it's just like really random conversations she was having. And I took to her and followed her, and now she doesn't make such videos anymore, really. And she doesn't necessarily make videos, but she's doing amazing stuff. She's still a creator. She's taking the most amazing pictures. She's working with people that she would want to work with. She's working with National Geographic. She's doing amazing things, right? She's grown. She's making she's very much interested in culture, so she's making collaborations on culture and clothes and fashion and that sort of thing. So she's doing amazing. But at one point, this girl was literally making videos in her room, like most of us are today. Like she was literally making YouTube videos talking about her Tinder dates, right? Things we had no business knowing, but it was fun listening. So and it was fun for her to make as well. So point yangu being, nimeona creators wakitoka mbali in sense of like ni interesting kuona mtu amegrow as a creator. It's very interesting to be able to see growth, or not even like growth, but just like evolution or change. Let me put it that way, because when I say growth, I am automatically putting a positive label to it. It's a change, right? It's good to see a change in the way that people create. For me, it has been good to watch other people evolve or change in their creation, in their manner of expression. And I think we need to allow ourselves that as creators. Like, allow yourself, know that it's okay for you to create something different along the line. And what you've done today, you being an amateur, you being a beginner, does not take away from the awesomeness that you're working towards, because it's only with a lot of investment that you will get to that awesomeness. So yeah, that's it. Yagazi Emezi, you guys should check her out. I think she's pretty cool.
Rudia jina lake.
Yagazi, nitaiandika kwa comment section. Yagazi Emezi. That's done. Iko kwa nini? Yeah, I hope you may spell vizuri.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ivia.
So, kwaheri, thanks for having me. Mais bien sûr. Nafaa kufinya wapi? Unafaa kunitoa?
Umesahau hizi vitu?
Bruh. How many years has it been since nilikuwa nafanya Instagram lives? Unakumbuka wewe? Mimi sikumbuki. 2020.
Acha tuivia hapa basi.
Bye. But
nimekata hivi akiongea ama I really hope not. Eba alirudi. Eba ashapost MWE yake yeye na Robi aka 2359, alafu Eba amesikia EP yake ya ngoma 3. Eba najua umecheat for today ama for yesterday. Inakubalika. Najua ulikuwa na busy day. So ni sawa. Should I get into MWE? No pressure. The day has just started. Ni Monday imeanza. At just about got through day 6. Tunachoka kusema tumechoka. Yo, nakwambia. nimesikia project ya Simi 40 minutes. Sawa. Hongera kaka. So huyo amekuwa Ivia. Mi niko grateful sana. I usually have a great time kwa hizi lives, and I'm constantly grateful to you whenever una join, una participate, una engage, una spend your time with this family and this community, and then whenever kuna persons sending requests na una join to have discussions, inakuanga moment beautiful sana. Today has been one of those moments, and niko grateful sana to Ivia for doing that. Few weeks back tukiwa na one of the live sessions, Ivia, for those who walikuwa kwa hiyo live, alitujoin. So unaweza wanaziambia nimeona Ivia mahali kwa hizi lives. Alitujoin wakiwa na Musoti, walikuwa Tusker Oktoberfest. Those of us who did not go to Tusker Oktoberfest, those of us who were here with our boring and miserable lives, tukashangaa hawa watu, what are they trying to communicate to us? We know our misery, so underscore the message anymore. Thank you for understanding. Well, to join Musoti hiyo day briefly. So that is Ivia to join previously, and acha pia niseme hizo lives tumediscuss tukimeka joke about Ivia kutojua kuexit live kwa Instagram. Kienda kwa account yake tabia videos, utaona a few videos akiwa na Sana Aman, and I'm mentioning Sana Aman because this community ni ya Sana, so mnajua Sana Aman ama you might know Sana Aman. And then amekuwa pia na mazungumzo na Rix. So hizo ilikuwa part of the last conversations that Ivia alikuwa ana host on IG zenye alizisave on live. Juu by the time alikuwa anaanza with Ivia and friends, yeye kuhost marafiki wake na kuhave conversations on anything and everything, hiyo time IG haikuwa inaala watu kusave lives. That's how OG Ivia is kwa historia kufanya IG live. OG IG Ivia ametuambia tu freestyle. I am plugging myself. If you get it, you get it. Kutumia term that irauka uchukia. If you know, you know. So during hizo time, haungeza kusave Instagram lives. Ilikuwa ukiwa pale, itakuwa for 24 hours alafu ina disappear. Before the online space blow because of COVID, na watu waanze kusave. IG yake hiyo feature. So those last ones utazipata on Instagram, yeye na Sana Aman, yeye na Rix. Sijui kama kulikuwa na one more on, was it employment na the youth in this country na someone whose name I forget. Sijui kama ilikuwa Nyambura. Do you know if that one is saved as well? Ivia, check my memory. If I'm right, make me feel good about myself. And then the other ones, season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kulikuwa na seasons kadhaa mwanzoni zilikuwa different conversations kuhusu vitu tofauti. So I was hosted kwa hizo conversations kuhusu kuongelea success na idea success, and then we also talked about the self kwa one of those lives, idea of the self. I'm holding my head hivi silently. Hazel uko hapa? Hazel ako hapa because on Friday nikienda live we talked about the self kwa random philosophical musings. Look at randomness in the universe and coincidences. Too many to count. So nimekuwa grateful juu nimekuwa hosted na Ivia and friends, alafu nimejoin a lot of, almost all since maybe videos because exist, and we've had amazing discussions kwa hizo platforms and even off those platforms, but just because this is kwa hii platform na Ivia ametujoin na feel imekam full circle na niko grateful sana for the same. tunaweza endelea. Ivia anasema yes, you graced Ivia and friends, so nionekane zaonesha evidence just in case you think I am lying. Obviously not, but no. Ivia nilikuwa nauliza if one of the lives that you saved for the last time when you're having hizo conversations, which haiko kwa Ivia and friends, you just having discussions na watu, was one on the youth na jobs na employment. I'm not sure if my memory can serve correctly, but so please do not judge my handwriting. Sawa? I know kuna some of you who've seen my handwriting and mnajua maybe tayari unasema mbona nasema kile nasema. Reserve your comments. If you've seen my writing before, reserve your comments. For those who've not, don't judge my handwriting. This was Ivia and friends, knowing self. This is not my best. Disclaimer. Let's see how this one will work. There we go. Is it focused? Ivia and friends, knowing self. You can onekana. I would hope so. I would hope so. Yeah, so kaijaonekana pia inaweza kuwa tu sawa. So making notes on Ivia and friends and knowing the self. The philosophical questions continue. The never-ending philosophical questions about the self. Anyway, Ivia anasema mimi nilisema niandikie love letter please. Haya. Unajua hapa hivi kuna people whom you should have in your life. Kuna Babo, kuna Robbie, kuna Hazel, kuna Abe. Any of these people here can write any of us a letter. I know. Na najua zitakuwa profound. That's a guarantee. So, Babo last week alisema anakupenda Ivia. So, tunaweza anza na Babo kuandikia barua. Someone else, Robbie, aandikie mtu mwingine. Abe niandikie barua. Abe, I am your person. Niandikie barua. Refer to the jokes you are making earlier to record reviews for context. So that has been beautiful. And hey, Ivia may agree. So expect a letter from Bagbo. You being in the diaspora, ulitakufikia tujui, maybe one of those days that you decide to surprise us again with your surprise visits. Utapata barua yako inakusubiri. Tutaambia Babo yeke pale Alliance Francaise for whenever Ivia comes back na ana surprise watu. So anyway, niliwaambia the projects that tumereview jana asubuhi technically, so leo ni Monday na is supposed to wait for those. I was ready to be sneaky. Ivia kakulenga. But sasa ndio nimewa set up. Auja get over. No. The only reason Ivia I'm bringing this up it's not for the reasons you think I'm bringing this up. I bring up kusema Alliance is the only possible place that inaweza work as a place ya kudrop hiyo barua. Unless kama utakaitume pia physically kwenye huko, unaweza ipata. Watumia Alliance as a center. Tumeongelea about centering. I am at the center of the screen. Tulisema my comedy is inatry kukuwa top notch. Babes, tuma barua. Haya. Sort yourself. Niliwaambia sort yourself out mkuje live tena pamoja. Naona ni kama for today tumetry. Nilikuwa nataka kuona kaa Babu ama hata yani anaweza kuja for the discussions that we've had kuhusu creativity and content creation, na ndio itakuwa another tutakaa hapo kwa another 1 hour, but that can always happen. Kuna so many talking points from that discussion that you can still have at any point na to extend your discussion ya creativity. So tumalizie na MWE. Now tusikie comments from Babo, from Abe, and how the experience has been. Robbie amehepa kidogo ni kama Shylocked. Niaje, shukran for passing by and being here. Tusikie watu wa MWE venye wanasema hii kitu ilikuwa settled on last week. Tumefanya week 1 of the same, nilirefer to MWE earlier, what it's about na the entire idea kusikiza an album a day that hujasikiza before and writing a tweet about it, as started by the American journalist Gary Suarez. So nilishare the idea hapa last week, ilikuwa just a day before to get into web, a day or two, nikisema ni something I do each year. 2022 ilikuwa hapa and it's with us, nikasema acha ni share nione kama ni kitu tunaweza fanya na nipate the community and the family wakuwe part of it. Babu aka come through, Abe pia aka come through, alafu nikaishare and then tukakuwa able kupata watu wengine joining the exercise. Tukapata Ivy Robi, tukapata Bunge na tukapata Roger aka join the exercise. It's been fun. For me, it's been so much fun. I am enjoying this exercise thus far. Tusikie kutoka kwa Babu na Abe kuhusu their experiences ya vile week 1 imekuwa. So Babu na Abe, at any point iwapo you want to come live, you're comfortable, inaweza pia, no problem, lakini feel free kurusha maoni kwa comment section kama kawaida kuhusu experience ya MWE ya week 1. We have 4 to go. I was saying that vile inaendelea na how ina progress the exercise, nikiangalia how nimestructure my document, because hapo ndo nimeandika the albums I'm supposed to listen to, ime break down nikaka so simple. Then we break down into weeks. So week 1 to focus on something specific, week 2 kitu specific, week 3 this, and week 4 this, na nimelist the albums. Hizo wiki zitaisha haraka sana. Najua inaweza ka daunting even to sisi as participants, because we still have 20 something days to go. Tumemaliza 6 days. We still have 22 to go, lakini ukifikiria na ukiapproach na hiyo break down inaka more manageable. Hata ukiamua kutake a day as it comes and a day at a time, it's something that unajipatia hiyo motivation, the drive, na unaona yenyewe naweza ihack. Leo tumekuwa na a hectic day, tulikuwa na reviews in the morning, vile nimesema from 5 to 10 am. Abe alitoka earlier because alikuwa na a shoot, alikuwa anaenda kushoot, so alitoka earlier, alikuwa na shughuli, you know how shoots go, na alikuwa held up. Ametuambia hapa aliyekuwa live watching this after, alisema alilala 5 pm na kwa amelala the entire morning. Ameamka 11, amesikiza a 40-minute project ya Simi, amereview. So najua even for Robi na Babo ata Roger, kando na Roger kuwa na sisi leo na bado kusikia project, basically to vile life iko structured, itakuwa ati as the way you want na linear, whereby utajua this specific time utasikiza the album na nifanye the review or what not, just to understand that life iko na its unpredictabilities na experiences zake that come your way. Inaweza kuwa tricky kumanage kufanya a review na kusikiza project usikize, lakini hizo challenging moments, hizo challenging days, as I've stated, they can come, but just being able to find your will na drive ya kujisukuma ni important. Even Abe alikuwa anasema how hectic leo imekuwa, hataki kufanya makosa ya kuskip leo, ndio anaweza maybe kosa anaweza kuwa na hiyo idea hata anaweza skip another day na anze kujipatia excuses. And this applies other things in life. Ukiangalia creation of habits, ukianza ku break a habit that you're trying to build, inaenda up imekuanga tricky once you start to kujipatia excuse ya kuhepa siku, that can prolong, you end up break ile habit ulikuwa unajaribu ku establish. So I completely understand kuna days that zinaweza kuja na ni vitu zinaweza occur that huko unatarajia, inaweza kuthrow off, lakini being able to still do it, niko grateful sana na acknowledge that this requires consistency, and I am grateful for Abe, Babu, Robi, Roja na Mbunge kunieka na kuweka, si mimi but to take the idea na kuparticipate na mimi kwa hii exercise na kunisqueeze kwa their schedules, kwa their schedules, going back to last week. Niko grateful sana. I'm having so much fun to honor how they talk about music and the music they've listened to. So excited about it, and I'm enjoying every moment of this. Nimefikiria kitu before nisome comments za Abe na tusikie from Babo. Thank you to Babo, Hazel, Abe na Ivia for still being here. So our people, my people, this segment I'm about to put someone on the spot, but rightfully so. Ini about celebration na kushukuru watu, na tumeongelea kuandikiana mabarua hapa, si ndio? Tunaweza anza saa hii, literally tunaweza anza saa hii. This person, let's see. Na nakumbuka, I trust my memory, nakumbuka this person, na leo tumeget into another day, tumeget into Monday, Sunday iliisha, leo ni day 7 of the MWE, but mtu mnaweza anza kumwandikia barua saa hii and what not. Leo ni kwanza, acha ni msetup ndo ajue ni yeye, but hapana, good storytelling. Ambush people. Leo ni birthday yake. 7th of February. Tumesema hii ni moment ya celebration na kushukuru watu na kuwasherehekea. Leo ni birthday yake. Alafu anatakanga candles, plants and books. Previously kwa life yake hajakuwa excited about birthday zake, but alisema for this one ako excited na anataka candles, plants and books kama presents. Now juu tuko hapa, amwezi tu, you can send the emojis of those, but mnaweza tuma pia watu wanikiana mabarua kwa hii live vile tumesema, Ivia, Abe, Hazel, myself na Robi mwenye alikuwa. We can pick your person, right? But days ago, we are 4 people here. Another serendipitous moment may happen. Someone has requested the live, but on the 4th day of February, tulimgift na lasagna leo asubuhi tukikula. Hakujua ilikuwa keki yake. But on Friday, mtu aliamua ajipeleke on a date. Alisema hataki kuhusika na watu, hataki hizo story, akasema ataifanya peke yake, akajipeleka on a date. Ni sawa, tunamweka pia on the spot equally. Tumesema hii ni celebration, tunamweka on the spot. On Friday 4th ilikuwa birthday ya Abe. Sijui anataka nini kwa maisha. Abe, what do you want out of life? Tukupatie sahi kwa live. Na Abe ako hapa, ako part of MWE. Sija mention whose birthday it is today, but ni birthday ya Babo. So it's a moment of celebration. Haya, whatever Abe wants out of life, sema tukupatie. For Babo nisha mention, and the moment of serendipity ni alikuwa request live nikianza kumuongelea. Voila. Najua Hazel is typing a comment. Hazel, I know you're doing your thing. I trust you. I know you're doing your thing. Ivia amepeana candles hapo na amepeana vitabu. Na Ali alikuwa amesema happy birthday. So, hebu nasema na Monica live. Haya. My nocturnal partner. Sasa ngoja, let's see. Hope tutakutoa. Haya.
I think you set me up. When I sent this request, it was to reply to the so many questions you had that I couldn't catch up. And then you do this. And I almost changed my mind and went back to bed.
You know I'm good at this. You know, storytelling. Moments. So before
I don't know what makes you think you're that cute. I just want to say you're not that cute. Setting me up like that, that cute.
So before
saying that Bambi's sleeping, so I'm gonna keep this peaceful.
So before Babu to join, najua alikuwa na take notes, I'm sure. True or false? Yes, the silence answers you. Hata before saying anything. Ivia amesema tunajuana, see? So
I told you, you've been my lifelong crush, Ivia. I told you.
But believe. So no. Before tusikie from Babu to get sentiments, Eba alikuwa anasema challenge imekuwa challenging and fun, especially ya jana. Just about got through it, like I said. But I'm enjoying the whole process. In Yasimi, because tumesema jana ni Sunday, leo ni Monday. But I'm enjoying the whole process. Matter of fact, I'll do this again sometime this year. Eba aliniambia ameenjoy, angetakata kuifanya for another month. So there is that. I've thought about having the same ideas for Kenyan content, but tutajua. Then my plan was initially to listen to artists from the south of the continent, but my last two projects zimekuwa from KE and Nigeria. This is Sosimi Jana day 6, alafu ali review Nikita Kering day 5. A Side of Me EP debut EP ya Nikita Kering that tuli review. So if you're watching this now, interested, consider checking the review out. Alafu lastly, South Africans, South Africa.
You can't double down. You can
focus on your notes. Organize your notes first, Babu. Tafadhali. Relax. Oh. Really, South Africans really know how to make albums. My favorite project so far ni a Stogie fucking T. Ali review. Then also Una Rams. 6 out of the 7 projects nimesikia so far I'd never had listened to. And then, so thank you for pushing us to do this. Shukran sana Abe, na niko grateful pia for your presence na kujoin. Ivia anasema now that I have put the face to the name. Yeah. Babo wadanganyangi. Hey, you think Babo jokes? Babo huwa hadanganyi. They don't cheat. Abe ni aje uoni game. Ama una game on silent. Haya. Babo?
I don't think that's possible.
kuna final. So
Oh,
inaweza kuwa ameona nini hapo. Haya. Hazel
thank you,
comes
Hazel. Thank you, Hazel.
with the beginning of a letter. Anasema, Babo, happy birthday. You deserve the best of everything. Enjoy these next 365 days till you're next. Here, a virtual plant. Ooh, okay.
I accept virtual plants. I just don't know. Do I water them? No.
Why are you watering down this moment?
I swear I'm not. And Abe, happy belated birthday.
Yes, so
Like you threw me off. I was so prepared for this. Like I was really prepared for this one.
take it away as Abe watches the African Cup final between Senegal and Egypt. Penalties, Nika Senegal inashinda 4-2, that's far. While his screen is on silent. Haya, Babu, take us through. You can start anywhere kuhusu sentiments that you had to share on what Ivia was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Alafu,
I can start from there, yeah?
Report kupitia kwa MWE final.
Like first, I really understood what Ivia was saying. I don't know if I can say I'm a content creator. I know I create content first as an artist because I'm a full-time artist. So I'm always creating content. And then the second part of being on social media, whether you are getting paid from it or not, provided you're on social media, you're always creating content. And then there are those who do it intentionally. And I think my intentional content creation on social media began in 2020, I think. It wasn't COVID. It was because I'd been thinking about it for a while. And it came from a place of just having so much to say that I needed to say. And I was tired of writing them on Facebook. So Instagram provided that space and I jumped on it, and YouTube too. So intentional content creation and that place of you're centering yourself and oversharing, they're very like thin lines. And I understood what Ivia was saying on that, like it's quite a thin line. It's just like a minute thing and you've already forgotten what the whole thing, whatever is happening, like what it is about. I have gone past oversharing. And that's what I wanted to point. Like, what do you consider oversharing? Do you consider, if I told people what I ate tonight, would it be me oversharing? If I told them how my childhood was or the places I've been, the things I've done, is that considered oversharing? And if I am oversharing, is that a bad thing? Then I understand access. I don't want to give people access to me like that. And then my other question about that is people can only have access to you as much as you give, right? And I am a champion of owning your story, owning yourself, owning your truth. And that always brings me to that place of, am I coming every time that I want to share something and my immediate thought is, I'm about to overshare or I'm about to give details that I'm not supposed to. My immediate thinking is, why do I feel insecure about that? Why do I feel like I'm going to put myself in danger because of that? And if it is something out of me, like because of the way the system is set up, if I was to share this kind of information, I'll be in physical danger, or the rest we battle.
Babu amebafa kidogo. Babu amebafa. Ama ni internet yangu. Comment if you're still with I and I. So ni Babu. So kuna kitu kimetendeka. As Babu comes back, kwanza nichukue. Let me get my charger before tuanze ku go off hapa. Yes, Abe, were you a Senegal fan? Senegal has won. Edna Sangaka ni aje? Sijui kama ni phone ya Babu imeenda off ama nini imefanyika. Unanisikia hata kweli? Unanisikia? Ama najiongelesha. Are you with me? My people, if you with me? My people, are you with me? If you are, tupa hands za worship kwa comment section. I was wondering why I had screams. Yes, Senegal. Oh, you're ongelea screams or kuhusu game. Kuhusu game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, wameshinda. Eba anasema was rooting for them. Weka flags za Senegal hapo. Hata MWE leo nafanya Senegal. to align. So bado mnanipata. So perhaps kuna a technical difficulty upande wa Babu, alikuwa ameanza kuongelea aspects that we were touching on earlier, kuhusu content and content creating, alafu telling your story, alafu on vulnerability na idea ya sharing ama oversharing and where that places them. So Babu was telling us kuhusu their ideas kuhusu what we were touching on earlier. Sijui kata kuwa able kurudi, tutampatia muda kisha tuone kama atakuwa nasi. Shukran Abe kwa kuwa hapa. Najua umepumzika, so uko rested. Shukran to Hazel. Shukran to Ivia for also being here. Uko beyond grateful. So ndio simu tuzimia hapa. No pressure at all. None at all. Asante sana. So Babu akirudi tunaweza endelea, and then Ivia anaweza catch up later akipata time when this convo should be up. Iba nasema nimemess na sleep pattern. I'll try and get some sleep again. That ease man. So sijui kama Babu ataweza kurudi. Na najua Hazel is not typically the nocturnal one, but ako hapa bado whenever si kwa live hizi times. Ana coming through vibaya. So tumalizie on MWE. Eba ameshare sentiments zake kuhusu the experience. Ameenjoy project, how alikuwa ameamua atasikiza watu wa SA, akaongeza Kenya na Nigeria. Leo amesema Senegal. Na venye how ana enjoy the challenge thus far na vile iko kwake. So that is amazing to hear. Hazel ni aje? Hi Hazel. Are you well? Are you okay? How's your week been? Poignant perhaps? We won't put you on the spot as usual. Never. Why would we do that to you? Why would we do that to thee? To such a beautiful soul as yours. Why would we be unkind? Why would we be indignifying? So we won't do that at all. Chakpea so much love and celebration as this live imeturn out to are meant for birthday Abe, birthday Babu, and the like. So we won't bring up your commitment issues to this live as we speak about MWE. We won't. No, we cannot do that. We can't afford to do that. So Babu is back. Atuambie kwenye alikuwa. Niaje human.
Hey, you know I live in the forest, right? So, yeah, on some days lightning strike our internet. And I think we had one of those days. Like, I'm very serious right now. I'm very serious right now. This is the second time lightning has struck our internet. Yeah.
Wow.
And this is not like, I'm not joking. It's an actual thing around here. And lightning sometimes decides and strikes our antennas or something. Yeah.
Just so you know, if you're watching this, unajua Ivia was here na Ivia ako kwa the diaspora, so our audiences far and wide, tuko na range. Alafu umesikia Babu amesema nishi kwa forest, so you see people from various places wako kwa hii live. This is a boiling melting pot. So that happened. Kemi ametujoin. You see, nocturnal miserable creatures. Karibu sana Kemi.
Don't call me that, or today I pull out. At least today I have leverage. Call me that and I go.
Unanitrete Babu, unanitrete.
Imagine, yes.
This is you paying back for me to set up, sindio? So Hazel says, hey African, I am all right. I am actually reading for an exam this morning at 8, listening to you like a podcast. Hey, wow. Nakwambia. Haya, Babu, ulikuwa umeanza kuongelea the idea ya sharing and or oversharing and how that can mean physical harm for you. Unajua, when that happened, I thought gava inakusensa.
Maybe they're the ones who struck the whole thing, man.
So yeah, we'll
Got me climbing on the roof and shit. So I don't know. At first, for me, that is what stops me right now from sharing or saying whatever I want to say. I have to consider my safety first. And for people who know me, they know the details of why I have to consider all that. Yeah, there gets to be at times when there's so much at stake that I have to consider, oh, fuck, if I said this, it could go wrong, like could take just a weird turn. Then there is the centering of self. I come from a place where I believe that I can't speak or say something unless it is coming from my personal experience. That my lived experience is the most I can talk from. Other people's lived experiences are experiences I get to witness and experience as they share or let me into their spaces. But when it comes to my art, when it comes to the content that I create, it's all based on my lived experience. I'm not doing lifestyle. Ivia talked about this lifestyle thing until now. I'm like, I don't wanna use the word. And it's not based on lifestyle because I don't know. As Ivia said, I would never ever want my lifestyle to be a measurement of anything because have you seen me? An entire mess. So it would be weird if I was to use that as this is how you're supposed to do it. But it comes from a place of I would want to share because of my dying hard feelings for community and wanting to always be in community with people and letting people know that you're not the only one going through this, or your experience is really universal, just tailored to your environment, place you are, and your name, but your experience is a very universal experience. Then that brings me to where I'm at. I could say I've done art for a while now. I've been here. I've been, like, I think when you've gone 5 years doing art, it is, yeah. And I've done art professionally and as my sole career for, I think, 4 years now. Before that, now it will be 7 years since I chose art, but doing it as my only thing has been for 4 years now. And I think the matter of finding your voice is something that happens. Like, finding your voice is one of those things that just happen as you go. Like, I don't think you could wake up today and you know exactly what unless you've been brooding. And even if you're brooding, you'll still go on stage and realize that maybe that's not how you want to talk to people when you're on stage. That's not what you want to share. And that's where finding your voice happens. I agree with Hazel when it comes to somehow as an artist, your audience still affects somehow, whether you want it or not, because your audience always comes and people meet you and they tell you, so, I listened to this piece of yours and it touched me in this way and all that. And my first instinct, which I don't know if every artist will agree with, is to never, ever change that piece, to keep it like that. That I'll grow through, and I want to keep it like that because
I know Abe will agree with you because Abe loves feeding his ego. So akiambiwa hivyo, atakuwa anaiperform kila time, hata i-maintain.
I know, like, it is all you want to do. That if someone will tell you, like, and then another time someone tells you that piece, I didn't like it. And, it took me a while to ask people specific things like, what did you love? What exactly touched you? Is it the feeling of it? Are there particular words? And why did they touch you in that way? So that I can know it's just your personal experience. That took me a while to ask, because you're also scared of, oh, I'm going to scare away a fan. But nowadays I don't even perform publicly anymore. And so the idea of fans and attracting audiences, all that, I can speak on it, because it is not something that dictates how I create anymore. How I create right now has gone past fans or audiences or art spaces and what they want. I create according to what I'm feeling, and then we figure the rest out. So for me, that the bit of oversharing, I really have never known what oversharing is. Could be attributed to the fact that I have Tourette's syndrome, which literally, in layman's term, if someone ever asks me what that is, I'm like, it is the disease of oversharing, the mental illness of oversharing. I just share. Mostly when it's the one thing that I'm not supposed to say, I'll say it. And so I am basically always oversharing. I get to stop myself at times, but I believe in owning your truth. So what would oversharing look like in any moment? And then I think we might also be putting oversharing to that place of, are we saying when you are oversharing, we're putting it to a place of, there are things I'm not supposed to say, but everything that's meant to be said will be said at some point. So are you really oversharing, or you've just not yet found the right time to say something? I think we are confusing it with appropriateness, that it's not appropriate to share this right now. If it's me keeping maybe my partner out of social media, one time they might get there. Like, for me, realizing that Oprah had a partner all this while was a shock that I got to know last year. Like, I couldn't stop. You have a partner, an entire human being. You realize that maybe she never shared about the partner because, no, I don't want to. But at some point, things come to light. They just happen. And you can stop it or anything. They just happen. And then I think you look like you want to read comments. You'll read the comments, then I comment on how my music writers exercise has been for the ended week, because my weeks begin on Sunday. So for me, I'm already on day 2, week 2. yeah.
I thought you cannot allow the white man's calendar to dictate your life, but lo and behold, overrate.
Only overrate. I swear you overrated me. The white man's calendar, the calendar of my country, we have 8 days. Just sharing this as a side note, you can imagine my first time experiencing a 7-week calendar. 1, 2. This, like, I know of 3-day weekends, and then I go to a country. So when I was young, I used to ask my mom, like, what happened to that one day? Because I didn't know that there was a difference. And I used to ask, why do we... why don't we have Mendawapi? And that's how time is such a construct. Time is such a construct. Like, where did they take my one day? Where? And I have 13 months. Where did the 13th month go to? Like, we are in a new year. Where did it go to? And I realized, yeah, time is crazy. Time is a crazy thing.
are you willing kupatia watu context ya why you are saying what you're saying in terms of experiencing a different calendar? Ndio wale ama hiyo tutachana nayo. Haya. Babu, hiyo ni oversharing.
I had a feeling you were coming. I had a feeling. Like, I'm just saying, I walked into a trap, and you know what? I'm used to you giving me up. Like, the day gava inanikamia nitajua ni wewe. I know it's you. I'll know it in my heart. I'll know it in my heart. It is you.
So acha nisome. Go ahead.
No.
Then nisome comments.
From where I come from, Abe is asking me, so is your birthday actually on the 6th? Do you know what's crazy? From where I come from, if they were to directly equate my birthday to the calendar that is used worldwide, my birthday is on August 8th. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like there are so many nini apart. Yeah, so many.
Yes, it's actually, yeah. It's actually August 8th, and August 8th, and you don't want to know the rest. Like, I would give you the year and you get shocked. Time is a construct. Time is
a crazy one.
a fucking construct. Yeah.
So alia Baba ukiongelea story ya sharing a piece na kupata feedback from audience members. Eba alikuwa anasema ana relate to hiyo story ya how you want to keep the peace and maintain it. Alafu now you have Kemi who's on the other end of the spectrum anasema lol. When someone tells me they like something I wrote, the more inclined I am to change it. The people in my life, the people I know, yani, nakuambia. Watu wenye najua.
The date today is 7th. The date today is 7th February. I'm reading these comments in real time.
Oh, yes, I have so many questions. I forgot to shout out Kalisl Kryptonite. Thank you so much for joining. Amecheka. Eba anataka tu kukupoke. Eba just wants to poke you.
Yeah. And yeah, I understand what Kemi is talking about. I don't know. Nowadays is when do I grow with my pieces? I was coming from the school like in African. You know, African was one artist who never repeated a piece. This motherfucker had an entire career in art and never, when he was still performing, I'm hoping you go back on stage, never repeated a piece. Like for every performance, open mic or otherwise, he used to write a whole spoken word piece and rap and say, and then he wants to convince me he's lazy.
Focus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are part of me. So this is me focusing on me. I'm minding my business here. And so for me, my art has grown to a place where is when I don't gotta keep them guessing.
Keep them guessing.
Wasiwahi kuzoea hivyo. My art has grown to a place where I don't think I care much. And this is like, I care. I care what people get to say because I would want to learn also in the process. I am a huge fan of learning. So I'm always in those spaces where I'm learning. And I think for that reason is why I care. I would want to know. But would I ever want people to be centered in my art? Never. It's not part of my plans. I feel like it's so limiting, because if people are centered in my art, I'm a dancer. What does that look like? People being centered in the dance creation that I have, it will mean that they would be telling me, and dance is one of those things that are also technical in a way that my first question is always, are you a dancer? What type of dancer? If you don't dance my genre of dance, the only thing you can talk about is how my dance made you feel. You can talk about my line constructs. You can talk about my pirouette. You can talk about nothing, because do your pirouette. I want to see. I want to see you do it. I don't know. So the same with when I do poetry, I would definitely want to hear what people say. And with that one, you can tell me this word you said and it was offensive. That one is very cool, because spoken word is spoken word. Most of the time, what you think we mean is what we mean. I know poets want to look like, oh, it's deeper than that. I meant this and you had this. Leave poets alone. What you had is what that poet meant. Let them not lie to you. That, oh, I was trying to say this and trying to look smart and philosophical. Those motherfuckers are liars. They actually mean what they've told you. Let them not lie. They mean what they've said. They mean it to the dot.
Hizi live za hii page na hii
Don't
account
allow
tunaichana.
poets.
There is
I told
slander
you,
spoken. Nakwambia. There is slander spoken word.
Carlisle, I know you're going to defend yourself as a poet. Y'all mean what you say. And
You know, I was sure nilipronounce jina lake vibaya. I was very sure.
it's okay. I think by now they know that someone is just about to butcher them. So yeah, Kyle, yes, like poets mean everything they say. Let them not tell you, oh, this is my art and this is my politics and this is my social life. You see, on stage I'm called African, but when I leave I'm called this. Liars. They're lying. And so for me, that was the biggest problem I had, differentiating audience compliments, ideas of my work, and what I do. Differentiating that and finding that, like
Soma
finding
comment
that place.
ya Kemi.
Nimeiona, and I'm like, not a dancer. All I know is when I dance, it has to be sexy, even if it's just for me. So my dance philosophy is different from yours as a professional.
Profession. Hiyo ndo kazi. Hiyo ndo inalipa rent. Hiyo ni wera.
I've never been able to.
Ivia anasema ogopa poets. Don't date them especially not.
Poets. What is so crazy is my partner is a poet, and now they sleep early. My partner sleeps by 9, so.
Unajua kwa hii context when a Bambi, both of you are dating each. So Ivia, you're attacking them. Ivia, you would get your letter.
If I'm supposed to write you a letter.
So if Abe is responding to what, I think I respond to comments that we had on poets. Amazon I respond to what Abe is saying, that it sounds personal. Kala says shade. Kemi pia agree. Poets or Cardinali's
Wrong
voice.
number.
Avoid those people. Avoid those people.
Listen, Linda Lincoln. Honey, don't tell you up.
Juu Babu amesema naeka watu on the spot, na throw watu off. So acha nieke someone on the spot. Someone here in 2016 ali climb Poetry Slam Africa stage. I know we have performing poets and spoken word artists here wenye wameifanya for years, na Babu umesema you do this, umeongelea Bambi. Najua we have Abe who's performed kwa slam stage but not in 2016, I think 2017. We have Kemi who was slammed as well kwa Poetry Slam Africa. But the
Kemi
person I'm talking
slammed.
about is this. Yeah, Kemi slammed. You see, Abu, read your comment. The last comment. Read the last comment.
Shut up.
That's the person. That's the person I'm talking about. If you're watching this live, you know who I'm putting on the spot. That
I
person
didn't
slammed.
know it's you.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
do I have a thing for poets?
Akuwa peke yake alifanya a performance na someone else.
Mwenye pia kwa hapa.
Ilikuwa. Yuko hapa.
Oh.
So pia alikuwa kwa slam stage na ilikuwa performance za duets and tag teams, na ilikuwa na the man who knows aka the 55th aka Mosoti. A lesson in history. So Babu, ulikuwa unasema before you are ranting about poets and their politics.
No, I know poets are very, like, people do that. And I know writers mostly, because poets, rappers, songwriters, writers, they just put a bit of melody to their writing. Mama fuckers, all of them are writers. And when they try to differentiate the people they are on stage to the people they are as people, yet you can't. Let me preach. Now I'm plugging my father. My father is a reverend bishop, so let me plug in my father. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. I believe that to the core. You can say, oh, good night. Good night.
11 so if you anasema trust African to expose your life. Information. Then Kalal says, good night, Sherry. I am beyond exhausted being in an 11-hour space. That's a long time. 11
Yeah.
hours. But,
they were in
Kalal,
a Twitter space before they came here. Yeah.
Amen. Ningemuuliza what we've talked about. Carlisle, what is time? And then what is time? Endelea Babu.
I think at some point, whatever you say should be considered illegal. But you know what? Yeah. This is the only place.
You are about
This is
to
the only
preach.
place I can come and create fights. Yeah. Please, can we join? Oh my God, it's my birthday. So African doesn't own this space anymore. It is mine. Join. You're welcome. We don't care what African feels or think. You can join.
At 122
I hope
AM, Kenya.
Aukuji could join, could defend poets.
Who? Kenya? All of them slander Kenyan spoken word. But Babu ulikuwa about kuongelea hiyo separation, and you're about to get into
that separation doesn't make sense because you can't speak of things you don't know. If you're speaking of things you don't know, then you're speaking from a place of ignorance or privilege. Just shut the fuck up. No one needs to know. Like, go sit down with your opinions. We don't actually care. People only speak from a place they don't know. When you don't know, you ask questions. I think that's how communication happens. If you don't know, you ask questions. When you know, you share what you have to the extent that you have them. When you make assumptions, now people get hurt. But that is, for me, that is the part where I am at with my creation, content, artistic, everything that I create. I create now. I've reached a place where I only create for me. I sit down with myself. I examine my politics. For me, if you know me, my politics are number one. I examine my politics, my being, the people around me, the things that I value, and see how much of that is reflected in the work that I do. And when I'm not authentic to myself, we kill the project, or we put it aside until I have the range and the coverage to do this kind of thing. When I get the depth and the range to do it, I come back to it. But before that, I don't. I don't do it. Then now to music writers exercise.
Music writer
First,
exercise, yes. So before to Babu tuambie about experience yake ya MWE, hiyo ilikuwa tuna go back to what we were speaking about, and this is especially for Kemi, because ulikuwa na Ivia earlier and we are getting into conversations kuhusu content creation na thinking about your audience, identifying your niche and path, identifying your target audience na the role and the space that audiences occupy kwa path ya mtu mwenye ana create content ama ana create whatever it is they're creating, and storytelling pia importance ya telling your story, sharing experiences zako, lived experiences, telling stories za others and centering yourself kwa kile unafanya. Hizo ndizo vitu tulikuwa tunazungumzia earlier, and Ivia came back because alikuwa ametoka, so I think aliona Babo then akarudi because alikuwa I expound on the same. I'm sure all of these discussions are things that we can constantly revisit and explore some more. One thing that Babu amesema akimaliza hata point yake ya performing and touching on spoken word, alimention pia tukianza akisema the reason anafanya whatever it is anafanya to create ni having the need to say things which will stem from the same idea ya sharing posts on Facebook, but now finding other spaces to do the same, stemming from the idea, the need to have a story to tell or something to say that Ivia pia mentioned kwa the videos ile anafanya, you could feel this is a good story, this is something that will naweza share. So then came in asema nimekumbushwa an interesting topic today on idea versus creator. Naona this is Kemi making steps into joining this live. Ana creep tu tunakuona na hizi comments zako. So MWE Babo alitujoin live last weekend na akasema ako very much willing to participate for the exercise. Eba alikuwa pia na sisi akasema ako nayo na ata participate. So this has been week 1 ya MWE na as tradition imekuwa for hii wiki, so it's only right that pia tuko na Babo hapa as the first guest kuongelea story besides but to join live. Babo ndio ushare reviews zake before all of us. Tradition, Babo ndo, this is that student in class. This is that student in class anafanya assignments zote, apatikanangi kwa makosa, kwa all subjects 99% whatever percent, alafu kwa exams wanaandika, wanafill booklets of pages. This is that student, dear viewer, dear listener, kama wewe ni Hazel ukisikia hii stuff ka podcast. So for day 1 Babo alisikiza Lemonade ya Beyonce. Day 2 akasikiza
let me get my book for reference ili usinidanganyishie.
Day 2 akasikiza Anti ya Rihanna. Day 3 akasikiza Matriarch by Wanjawo Horo. Day 4 akasikiza I Am Sasha Fierce ya Beyonce again, and then day 5 alisikiza The Thrill of It All ya Sam Smith. Day 6 akasikiza Jana Village by Jacob Banks, and that has been list ya Babu up until today. Tell us about your experience, dear human.
Okay, first I'm going to start by stating this. I don't listen to music. I just don't. It's not, there are so many things to it, but I'm not a fan of listening to music. I find it so hard, and I get a lot of sensory overload when I listen to music. Why I decided to be a part of MWE is because it was a challenge and I thought it was impossible. So, because I thought it was impossible is why I'm doing it. And so far, I've done it. So I don't think it's impossible. Then I didn't think I could stand listening to an album a day, like every day listening to, I have to listen to music. I think until we started doing MWE, I think I'd listened to music only in passing, like when I'm in a matatu or something and I can't avoid it. Other than that, no. Since the year began, I've not listened to music like from my own devices and choosing. Then we started the whole challenge. First day, I had to convince myself to listen. The first day, I think I posted very late in the evening because the entire day I was seated and stressed out. Like, then I realized that the more I get stressed out, the more time goes. So I started looking for other things to do to get myself to that place of listening. And I had to listen to this album almost 3 times because the first time I didn't hear anything. I only knew like the few songs that I knew, and that's what I stayed with. And then I was like, how would they know that I didn't listen to everything? Let me just give the review of what I have. Like, I know a few songs. Let me talk about that. Then the second time, and then the third time, I caught on. I loved listening to Lemonade because I never listened to Lemonade at that time. And why I'm so happy that Beyonce is here is still addressing Ivia on oversharing. I don't think Beyonce is one of those people who really shares on social media or IG Live. One of the few celebrities who's not jumped on the IG Live thing, YouTube thing, sharing about their lives in any way. Like, what we know about Beyonce is a rumor. Like, almost everything, apart from maybe her marriage to Jay-Z, everything else that we know, like we know she married Jay-Z, that's all. Everything else we know, and her music is an entire rumor. Okay, capitalism just took Ivia from us.
Because and also
Ivia, we're
so
fighting the system for you. Yeah.
So acha tuisome Kozeba alikuwa anasema I was telling Kodo how the thrill of it all is my top 50 album of all time. The Village also makes the list, an ever changing list by the way. Then Ivia amesema mimi kesho I have to go Capitalist juu watu wengine walikata kunista from capitalism. I know that is you are doing what we did earlier. If anakuona sana. Beyonce is an OG. That's what I aspire to. Kutokuwa active social media and the like. So Babo, you are saying something about the monetary.
Yeah.
For being
for
here.
me, when you listen to Beyonce's music, like if you literally listen and piece the lyrics, maybe I'm here being a conspirator, we could say that. But if you sit down and listen to Beyonce's music, you can almost be able to write about her, like write about her life, the person that she is. And listening to Lemonade, oh my heart broke. I was just at that place of, oh my God. And I lack all the technical jargons, terminologies, to describe music. Like I looked at Roger's day one review and I almost changed my mind about this review. I even told you to tell him, like, Roger, go touch some grass. Man,
Touch some grass outside.
like, what the fuck? Get outside, go breathe, take a walk, come back. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Yeah, I really like,
Hata nitafute nisome kwanza na
because
tupatie
I don't
content.
have the technical language for what happens in music.
So Babu, allow me to read this tafadhali. So
Yes, please.
Day one by Roger nasema Solstices Asas Maritimus EP is a seamless union of keys, drum patterns, and dubstep transitions, showcasing the cyclic battle of calm and chaos. The project culminates in a sort of acceptance of the darkness, resulting in a transcendental end. Where
Yet with me, I was here. Beyonce broke my heart.
yeah.
You know what? I almost changed my mind on that first day. I know. It's this review, you're like, and then African is just there in my comment section hyping me and telling me like, oh, we've got a review. I'm like, where yeah? Have you seen what Roger's written? It's just the first day, Roger. It's the first day. Go touch some grass. Come back. Like, it's day one. It's day one. No one is acting like this on day one. Soldier Don went to day two. Day two, for me, Lemonade was that place.
And contrast
what I said on day two, or contrast what I said. All right. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can read it. You can read it. Hey, Levi. That's my friend.
Yeah, I know. Nimemwona kwa live yenu. Karibu sana Levi, karibu sana. So,
Levi doesn't understand karibu sana, but cool. It's a good thing. Jambo, it works. It works.
Jambo, Levi, Jambo. So, day one, their Babo ilikuwa Lemonade ya Beyonce. Alisema, hey, this is it. I wanna cauterize her wounds and tell her she's gonna be fine. The way this album is so painful and at the same time a huge ass fuck you amazes me. The album ain't new. I had just never listened to all the songs as part of an album. And you know, the medical side of Babo came out strongly.
I looked for the words. What would you call? When like someone is over bleeding and you wanna stop their bleeding? How do you say that in a way that Twitter doesn't limit your words? I looked for one word for stop the bleeding. See? I didn't waste 7 years in med school. I did well.
You did well.
At least now I can review alongside Roger.
Day two,
Day two, I did Rihanna Anti. I'd never listened to it. I knew Anti existed when Rihanna's pregnancy was announced, and then people were like, guys, let's not wait for that album, because people have been waiting for the album. Let's not wait for that album. Let's just go back and listen to Anti. And I was like, what do they mean Anti? Then I went and Googled, and then I knew of Anti, and I added it to my list immediately because I wanted to know what it's about. Why before, when African was talking about me putting Beyonce on my first week, is I even told you that I didn't know Beyonce existed until I was in high school. I didn't know anything about her. So in high school is where people would give you that look of, you don't know Beyonce? I'm like, no, I know Chester. Yeah. And also the household I grew up in, there was no way we were ever going to listen to R&B or pop or whatever. Like we didn't even have hip hop in our house. All I know about those kind of music, I've known when I'm older and grown like out of my parents' house. And so I'd never listened to it. Then I realized I knew like 2, 3 songs. My best song in Anti, before I knew about the others, because it's one of my best Rihanna's songs, is Love on the Brain. Then I listened to that song. She's talking about drinking whiskey. I've forgotten the name. Lord, no one has ever been so convincingly drunk while singing. Like, I was sold. She was convincingly drunk.
Do
Yeah.
you know who
And
can
then,
rival that?
mm,
Kendrick Lamar, You.
oh, yes, I forgot. I was talking about singers. If Kendrick Lamar comes into the show, it's Kendrick. It's definitely Kendrick. Kendrick once sang, and I looked into his eyes and he looked crazy. Like, for me, even when actors act like they're insane, it's never in the eyes. They're insane. They're just insane. But Kendrick, fuck. Yeah, that's a one battle. That one, there's no comparison. No one comes close. No one comes near. It's Kendrick. Um, then on the third day, I was listening to Wanja Wohoro. First,
Yeah.
I didn't know she's called Wanja Wohoro. And we follow each other on Twitter. So I went and looked for at Wanja, then she came up. Because before in my book, I had written Wanja Kihoro. Yes, here it is. I'd written Wanja Kihoro. And then there was no Wanja Kihoro. Then I went and looked for Wanja Wohoro and I listened to Matriarch. I loved listening to Matriarch. Like it lulled me completely. I was so still and just felt this peace. I love that Wanja, I don't know the person Wanja has grown to right now because clearly I'm just starting to listen to her. So I don't know her current songs. I don't know if right now she does riffs and all that sort of stuff. But one thing that stayed with me is how she sings in this, like, it's so, I want to hug you, let's sit down. It's so conversational. And that's why I said she sings like she's praying. It's like a prayer. There is no anything. And then the part that caught me, and this comes from me, you know, my journey with learning Swahili and learning to survive in Kenya. Um, and one thing that caught me is there is a song. I can't pin out which song exactly because out of listening to music, I never listen to music while watching videos. So all these things, I can't tell you what their videos look like. That one will be too much for me. I won't able to make it. So I listen to just the music. The song, there was just one song where she adds Swahili words. And I think it's the one where when she finishes, she's like, Mumbi, Mumbi, something. The Swahili was off. And I know as someone whose Swahili is like my 7th or 6th language, I have no rights to even start saying something like that. But that felt off, the Swahiliness. But I'd said my reviews are going to be of the things that I love. Oh, that's my challenge for the entire thing. I'll only say the things that I love about people's creations. And that's why I don't want to listen to something that has already been given a bad review. I won't find a good thing. I won't lie. So yeah, you wanted to do from the margins. You know how I felt before. And if it's added to that, I'm gonna move on. Let me just move on. Let me just cancel it out of my list, and move on.
You'll only know when you experience it, when you listen to it. But
Yeah, I look for, this is what I do. I go and Google the person. I told you, I don't even listen to people I don't agree with their politics. I go Google the person, see, da, 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 da. We could, like, for me, the average thing is human dignity. Everything else can go to hell, but human dignity part of it. And then fourth day, I listened to I Am, Sasha Fierce. Why that? It was on my list even before, but I thought I was going to listen to it. End of this entire thing. Then Bambi and I talked about being children and Illuminati stuff and how all these things. And first, for me, who grew up in a bishop's house, that wasn't pleasant. That wasn't pleasant. Like, I knew so much about I Am Sasha Fierce that when I was listening to the album itself, I was like, what were they talking about?
where is it?
Where is it? So I never touched that album. I never touched any song from it, like at all. And then, it was released, I think, I got to know Beyonce, I think, after that album was released. Then I came back home. When you're in school, you interact with other people's children. I came back home, and what we were talking about, we were discussing all these cool things. And then I was singing in the house, I'm a diva, because it sounded like it's up my alley. And I was sat down, and my dad, his other bishops, the other pastors, and now all of a sudden I'm being initiated into Illuminati in high school. And then, if high school, you're in a totally different country, they totally believe it. You're being initiated into Illuminati in this other country. And it was a whole mess. So I never, ever listened past this. And listening to I Am Sasha Fierce felt like reclaiming my childhood in a way. Then the part that made me laugh is when I realized Beyonce has been, like, if there is a song that should be sung for Beyonce, is I'm every woman, it's all in me. That's Beyonce, the whole of it. Like, she's sung for side chicks, main chicks, wives, career women, everyone. She has a catalog. Just be looking for the part you wanna fall into, and you'll find her like heartbroken, helping the other person to cheat, being the one cheating. Like, she has it going. And so, yeah, I don't think these two albums will be the only albums Beyonce I'm gonna listen to. I wanted to explore more of her work, because my work as an artist got really influenced by Beyonce, not in terms of her work ethic. Most of the other things I really don't know much. I can't speak much about them, but her work ethic, and I don't think there is a more hardworking artist. I doubt it. And I had a retort for my mother, like, if the devil makes you work.
Can I request?
If the devil makes you work this hard, white chicks, yes. If the devil makes you.
Kemi was saying how your followers are too smart and artistic and intense for me. Never going to request to join your lives. Jibambe lakini, LMAO, I'll just comment. Kemi, at least ukiwa hapo unaweza hide under your Instagram account na watu wezi ona your smartness.
I know.
It's okay.
I know.
Ni sawa.
I know.
Ni sawa.
Kemi, we know you. We know you.
Ni sawa.
We know you. Yeah.
And then there's a comment from the eye that sees all. And then I think Martha alikuwa ametukiongelea story ya kujua Beyonce through family ama something about family. Then request for Babo to join every weekend. Their stories is just crazy. And then we're gonna comment on what Eba said, kuhusu white chicks.
Yeah, that's part of Beyonce's catalog. And for me, one time I had a retort for my mother of Beyonce being in the Illuminati, and I'm like, I thought the devil gives people soft life. Like, if I have to work 18 hours in serving the devil, what is your job? What are you doing here? Kwa nini? Why am I suffering? 18 hours dancing on heels, and I serve the devil. What are you doing? Keeping me steady on the heels? Building my thigh muscles and everything so that I don't fall. What? Do your job. What's your job? So for me, I am Sasha Fierce really was an album to just reclaim my childhood, and also just listen to more of Beyonce. Like I said, I will try and listen to more of Beyonce. Like, I think Beyonce is one of those people they don't open up, but in their songs, the vulnerability, fuck, yeah. Like, and in Lemonade, my best song in Lemonade, before it was Hold Up. Right now it's Don't Hurt Yourself, because now I've listened to the whole thing. Before I only knew Hold Up, and then Don't Hurt Yourself. Yeah, I really love the opening line, like, who the fuck do you think I is? Really caught me. I was my jam, right up my alley. You know what? I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
That was your zone. Ukajieka hapo.
Right there. Then on Sam Smith came from a place of being a non-binary person, and all my life, like, I always relate with them from that place of the all medical transitions they've had to go through, to be the person that they are, to now claim it, and knowing that the oversharing part of I've gone through the same, to now where I claim my being and stand in my truth of, like, fuck you. If you can't take this, then you have no business even being here. So listening to The Thrill of It All, I realized I didn't get to listen to The Thrill of It All. I listened to two songs. The first song in that entire album, and I love him. I knew it because I created a choreography to it and danced it. And the first song of it all, because every time you think I've forgotten. I'm good at goodbyes. Yeah, that. Those were the only two songs I'd ever listened to. Yet with me, I thought I listened to it. Then there is the last album. Now I have to listen to the last album because I realized maybe it's the last album that I'd been listening to all this while, thinking it's The Thrill of It All.
The first.
This last album, the one that they released last, Love Goes. That's the name, Love Goes. Yeah. Why? I love the way Sam Smith sings. It's so delicate. Like, I love when people sing in that place. I don't have a musical term for it, where if they broke, there would be discord. It would be a discord. But they've kept that line, they've kept the note in this effortless way, but it's so